Welcome to another episode of Fast Facts from CAGA. On the occasion of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, we spoke with Abeda Steenkamp about the stigma and taboos surrounding cancer that she sees in South Africa. Abeda is a service coordinator with the Cancer Association of South Africa. Abeda, could you please tell us about yourself and the Cancer Association of South Africa?
I myself was diagnosed with breast cancer 13 years ago. Since then, I volunteered my services and became a employee at the Cancer Association in Cape Town, South Africa. I do, as a social worker, I do home visits where I do one-to-one counseling with patients. I also do telecounseling if patients are far and wide, or if they, prefer a telecounseling session. We also do family counseling. We offer support groups to patients on a one-to-one basis, WhatsApp support groups, face-to-face. And we are promoting this throughout the country. And there's obviously a need, to start more support groups to get the word out there. Educate, prevention, early detection, is good and is a good form of prevention in terms of, taking note of the early signs of cancer and getting treatment and early intervention.
What are the effects of stigma around breast cancer?
Yes, a lot of people out there still believe that cancer kills because there's no cure to date for cancer and because they lost many loved ones to cancer. And this is why they fear knowing what I know and going out and seeking that medical attention. And obviously factors that, impact that is very often they're the sole breadwinner. So it's not a priority to go and seek medical attention. When I have the time or when I have the money, I will go. Um, Although they know there's something wrong because the pain is evident, the discomfort is evident, um, but you know, there's also that cultural stigma in terms of I first need to speak to my family or I first need to speak to the tribal leader and seek, his advice as to whether I can go ahead and go and seek medical intervention. Um, you often find that even in today's society, there are certain societies where, they don't speak about cancer, still very much a hidden secret. Nobody must know. Please don't come with the car with the word cancer on it. Please don't tell my neighbors, you know, um, or anybody you know. So at the end of the day, we need to continue reaching out, educating, and providing these services needed, especially in the rural communities.
How do stigmas or taboos differ between social groups?
Um, I think in the rural communities, very often because they don't have access to so many medical facilities, the local nearby clinic is not that near. It's quite far to get to it. So it's just a mission, making the effort to go there. And this is why it's so important for us to go out there and educate and bring the services to them. Um, and in that way, reach out to more people and make them aware of, it's so, so important to take accountability for your health. Um, I find that in the in the higher or lower, middle income groups, you often find because people have access to medical aid, they will yearly go for a thorough medical checkup. So they do take care of the health and it's okay. I went earlier this year, so there's no need to go again. I'll wait till next year, even if they might have any sort of inkling that I'm not feeling okay. I know I had a medical examination 3 months ago. Something doesn't feel right, but it's okay. I don't have the money to pay for another mammogram. So I'll just wait when the medical aid kicks in again. With the higher income group, because they are by the means, they will certainly, the minute there's something wrong, check it out. Because they have the resources and the funds, go all the way, have all the tests done, to be reassured everything is okay.
What are the impacts of early intervention and community engagement?
Yes, quite sadly, with the patient that has the access, um, they are often diagnosed in the early stages, and obviously the early intervention of treatment, and the results are extremely good. For those that, don't have the access or have left it, saying, I will get to it sometime, you know, um, when diagnosed, they're already diagnosed with stage 3 cancer or an advanced stage of cancer. So very often the medical treatment, is quite hectic for them, and they feel totally overwhelmed. And because they feel totally overwhelmed, very often it's, you know, although I'm going to get the treatment, I can't get my mind around it. I just feel so helpless. I don't have the strength. It's taking too much emotionally, financially, socially, on the body as a whole. And this is why, it's so easy that they reach that phase where it's okay. I'm ready to go. I can't fight it.
And what is the patient journey with cancer support?
Yes, the patients are welcome to contact the cancer toll-free number. Um, they will immediately be put in contact with a social worker. The social worker will make contact with them. And if they wish to have a one-to-one face counseling session, we actually do go out and render that service to the patient. And very often the patient requests if we can do it with a family, because, often the family doesn't realize what's happening to her, and she needs their support. We do find that the men are often the silent ones. They deal with it, but they don't express and communicate with the wife. Is there anything I can do to support you? For example, going to fetch the children, or organizing a roster system for them, um, or providing a buddy system where the local friends or neighbors can assist with the cooking for the days that she has chemo. They just think, this is this has happened to you. I'll be there physically to support you, but that's it. I don't know what to do. And this is why we have started the couple support group sessions also, where we actually encourage the men to come along, or the caregivers, the one that's caring for the patient, and actually to speak to them about how did cancer impact your life. And in one of the sessions, one of the husbands said, you know, um, he introduced his wife and he said she was diagnosed with cancer, and then he broke down completely, you know, and his wife was the one, comforting him. And he said, for 3 days, I cried. I couldn't deal with it. And then I had to pull myself together and say, I need to be strong for my wife and my children, you know. And I immediately reached out to my colleagues, and they said, but, our wives would like to help. Give us that opportunity. And so they formed a system where they would cook on alternative nights. So yes, that is one way. And also we started a teen support group. So the teen support groups are for those children whose parents have cancer. They have a lot of responsibility also, because we have many of them that come home from school, They take care of the mother or father. They do the cooking. They have to see to the younger siblings. They don't have the time to enjoy being a teenager. So they come to these sessions and they share, what are the highs and lows in their lives and their concerns about, you know, every day I rush home, hoping my mom is going to be okay and she's still going to be there, you know. And then they also have to cope with the pressures at school. The one mentioned he's got permission to have a cell phone at school on his desk, and he got bullied by his peers. They said, "Oh, you're just seeking attention. What's so different about your mom? Our moms also have ailments. Why should you get preference?" So that pressure from peers, and also the ignorance on their part, not realizing his mother has been diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So her illness has progressed to such a state that he is concerned, and he should be concerned, because her time is drawing nearer. And this has been discussed with the family, and this is the issue that we discuss in the teen support group sessions also. You know, how does one deal with, death? Um, Approaching death, and the impact that it's going to have on the family, what preparations have been made. And then obviously we provide opportunities for them to release the anger. We provide, going out, just having a social outing, getting to know one another, just to release that tension. um, and then the face-to-face support groups that we do offer, they are offered throughout the provinces, and it's an opportunity for the volunteer, the cancer patients, and the family and friends are welcome, or anyone else that has been impacted with cancer are welcome to attend these sessions. Um, and they realize when they do attend, oh wow, I thought, I'm having a bad day, but oh my word, look at her challenges. So it's a real eye opener to them, and they feel that many of them say, uh, nobody understands it when we say, this is what chemo is doing to me. But if I come to to the support group, they know what I'm going through. They've been there. They uplift me, and this is why um, I feel so good. When I attend the support groups, I feel nurtured and I feel supported. So yes, and then we Cancer also offers WhatsApp support groups throughout the country, um, and those are for patients. When they feel I'm not ready to deal with the one-to-one face counseling, it's easier to talk to others that are going on the same journey. And we've seen a tremendous growth in that, especially during COVID time, when people were not allowed to meet. Um, Many indicated at that time they felt very lonely and needed to reach out to someone. And as I said, the telecounseling is offered to patients newly diagnosed, or to family members, who who can't deal with the fact that a parent has just been diagnosed, or a loved one. And then we also have the home away from home. We've got the one at Aikenhof in Athlone, and there's one on the premises of Tygerberg Hospital, and throughout South Africa. And these homes, patients come to for a period where they have no family, within the nearby area where the hospital is situated, and they stay there for the entire period that they receive their treatment, and they get breakfast, lunch, and supper, and they get transported to and fro their treatment center until they finish their treatment, and then they go home again. Um, then we also have the caregiver support system, where those that care for the patient, they also need support. So there is that offered to them. Um, you know, um, we have the cancer relay that we offer once a year, where we educate people and invite survivors and others to join in, and get the message across that, um, cancer is not a death sentence. We're here to support you and walk the journey with you.
Are stigmas around breast cancer changing?
Absolutely, because when the patient has a rough day at hospital and told um, there's nothing more that we can do for you, you know, um, your family and yourself need to talk about, the end phase is near, and then the cancer reaches out to them and assists the family and provides them with the necessary support. And obviously, at that stage, the hospice movement would also have stepped in, and come and check the pain levels of the cancer patient. And cancer, has developed a new app called the Pain Management app. So once they register on that, there is that intervention available for them and that feedback as to how they can manage their pain better. And we offer services, medical equipment, whether they need a commode or a wheelchair. These are hired out to the cancer patient. Very often, the women, when losing their hair, you know, they feel, oh, this was their beauty. They need to cover up. So we do provide the service of a wig. Those that had colon cancer and they now have a stoma bag, we do have a stoma clinic and a stoma support service, that are available to them. And we have a clinical sister, Sister Floy, that they can speak to at any time. So yes, they do realize that the support from cancer is out there. They just need to pick up the phone and contact us. So yes, it has really changed the perception because we get lots of referrals at all times. And I think because everybody out there knows, that cancer is there to assist. So we get referrals from the local day hospitals, the clinics, the colleges, and even the schools. So there's a lot of awareness. And I think the fact that corporate companies has bought into this model where we want cancer to come out and educate the staff about early detection, that has really made a great change, and impact on their employees in, becoming aware and reaching out earlier instead of waiting.
What taboos or stigmas remain, and how can they be tackled?
No, definitely it will change in the near future because cancer has already reached out to the tribal groups, the Sangomas and all of that, and provided workshops for them and educated them. So obviously there's more referrals taking place. In certain communities, there has been a change, and over time, I think that change will be much more positive instead of, we must keep everything quiet. In some Indian communities, it was taboo to talk about it. You don't mention the word cancer, but now more men are actually, stepping up and saying, I've been diagnosed and I'm willing to speak about my journey. And that's great. And more women are joining our support groups. So, yes, there's a more openness to it. So, I've seen a lot of change, even within the poorer community. Where they actually pick up the phone and say, is it possible for someone just to come out and encourage this person to go and seek medical assistance? So, yes, absolutely. Great strides.
Is there any final message you'd like to share?
We still need to encourage our loved ones to go regularly for checkups. I've had a patient recently where 2 years ago, she was on the cancer journey and she had a mastectomy. And now she's felt something wrong again in the other breast. And she says, I know I need to go have it checked out. but emotionally, I'm not ready to deal with it. So we need to continue to, to give us this support and encourage her to say, and, help her to realize what is keeping you or holding you back, from going. Um, as you know, early detection saves lives. So let us help you. Would you like us to accompany you? You know, um, Obviously you can't force them, but the continued love and support, to many out there, um, needs to be continued. Um, and I think many people say, when they visit someone that has been diagnosed, I don't often know what I have to say, you know, um, and we encourage them, just hold the hand of the patient, the loved one, be it your neighbor, your colleague. Um, if you have something to say, try to think, and say something positive. If you don't have something to say, don't say anything negative. Just be there for the person. We don't want you to shower us with gifts and pampering sessions. We just want to know you there, you know. So, yes. I think that's very important. I think if I look back and reflect on when I was diagnosed, cancer just grew my family. My husband said, I didn't know you knew so many people. But this is what cancer does. It brings people into your lives and you just connect, and you just feel the love and support and you just want to give back, and inspire others. So yes, that's all from me. Thank you.
Abeda, many thanks for your time and for the interview.